Hello! Welcome to the Wheel and Chill Show. We are back on our pivot train talking about the Rings of Power. We're pivoting. We're talking about the Rings of Power this week. We missed one episode completely because we were talking with Jason Denzel last week. So we have two episodes to talk about tonight, episode 6 and 7. Arguably, they pair pretty well together because we had crazy thing happening and then aftermath. So I think we picked a good week to skip, and we do have a lot to talk about though. So I'm not gonna delay. I see you all in the chat. We love you, Jessica, Random Millman, everybody who's there.
Alvers.
My stream didn't update fast enough for that, but I know you did it earlier. I saw you earlier, so thank you for being here, Olivers. All right, so we're going to introduce ourselves very, very quickly, and then we're going to talk about the Rings of Power tonight. Pretty exciting stuff. Tavern, why don't you go first?
Really quick, my name is Tavern. I do TikToks. I have merch on Redbubble. I also have merch on Zazzle for the Wheel and Chill Show, and I love everyone.
Aw. Nice.
On that note,
everyone loves you.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. Winespring, you go ahead.
That's me. I'm Winespring from winespringcafe.com, the Wheel of Time food blog. Check it out, winespringcafe.com. Make my food and eat it.
Eat her food.
It's good. It's yummy.
Super yummy. Super yummy. We need to do another cooking video soon. Yes. The last one was over the holidays last year, so it's like we're almost there.
Yeah, I got to get those recipes out. Right.
Yes. Okay, so I am, what's up, Steph North? Nice to have you here on the Twitch chat, so some of you can't see her, but, okay, so I'm Kritter XD. I do TikToks about the Wheel of Time and Lord of the Rings and the Cosmere. I am Egwene Alvear on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. Thank you for the sub, Steph North. What a way to start the stream. Oh my gosh, you're the best.
Yay.
And I have a Discord. If you're not on the Discord, it's super fun. And I have merch. Some of it, the designs that I've made are on Redbubble. Otherwise, New Creations by Jen has my logo merch, which includes one of my favorite things for this season, the Kritter XD beanie.
The beanie. Oh, I don't have mine. I should have it. Darn.
I'll be wearing it once, it cools down a little bit. But that's me. I'm really happy to be here. And oh man, did we get some Wheel of Time content last week? So if you didn't see my stream reacting to the panel, like, it's a really long stream. First, I react to the panel, then I react live to the new clip, and then we have an emergency Wheel and Chill show, all in the same video. So, and I have the times.
It's a great video.
I have the times denoted in the comments. So if you haven't seen that yet, and you missed the emergency Wheel and Chill show at the very least, you can like click where the time starts in the comments, and then it'll take you right there. So you may want to check that out if you didn't see that one. And
a lot of stuff happened.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
So much stuff happened. You guys are doing great in the chat already. It's incredible. You have your own little conversations, and I love it. Okay, so let's talk Rings of Power, shall we? Shall we?
Let's do it.
What do we want to start with? Winespring, you decide.
I got it.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
Wow, look at
We're
us.
on the same page. Yes.
Okay,
let's talk about the fact that Bronwyn and Arondir finally kissed.
We were waiting.
We were waiting. The romance was building, and they finally gave us a sweet little kiss.
They did.
We have an image of it in there somewhere.
I was gonna say, do we? I'm looking. I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Wishland and Walmart Nynaeve kissed. Yes.
Wow. What Walmart Nynaeve? Nynaeve. So offensive.
Ouch. Yeah.
Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay, it was just like I didn't see them kissing. Here it is.
Oh yeah, it's kind of small, but look, there it is. It finally happened.
It was literally.
The chemistry is real. We still haven't seen Theo's ears. I'm hanging on to the fact he's gonna have little points. You just never know.
I feel like the entire Rings of Power like fandom was like, now kiss. You know what I mean? Like you do with like dolls.
Yeah.
Tell us more about how you play with dolls.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you see it on like Jesus Christ. It's like whatever. Never mind. I was a Beanie Babies girl. Okay. Anyways.
That's awesome.
Pointy ears would explain a lot.
It would.
If Theo had.
he was talking about like
non-feelings and shit. Yeah, it would explain a lot. The kid's a little messed up.
Oh man.
See, I'm sorry.
Going hard on Theo already.
Half elven people are messed up because Elrond might have had something to say about that.
Yeah, but if you look at the Lord of the Rings movies, he was a little bit more stoic, right?
Arwen
Show
was
the-
also half elven. She wasn't stoic.
Arwen showed a little bit more emotion, but Elrond did not. Just saying.
It's true. But we're getting a lot of emotional Elrond in this, which we're not going to talk about yet because,
Yes,
we
yes.
got to
We're
stay
not
on
there yet.
task. But this,
But yeah, I'm glad this finally happened.
and it happened at the well too, which was kind of like their
So
like
cute.
stealth meetup place. Very cute.
Yes.
Very excited about that.
And then like the second thing that happened with them was also at a well. It's when that orc had
yeah.
the thing like at his eye, and then she
Mm.
came up behind him and killed the orc and saved him.
Yeah.
All of
Scene
it's
was
at a well.
So good.
It was all.
Yeah. Oh
well.
gosh.
Sorry.
Fight
I can hardly
scene,
look at
everything
that.
was
Yeah.
so good.
It's so close. Like,
It is.
I've already told you guys
That scene
surely
lasted forever.
that I can't do even eye drops. So that's just like whoa.
Yes.
too close. Oh,
It was a
All of
great
that
scene.
like orc blood just like flowing into his mouth was so
Ugh.
nasty to watch.
It was.
Oh yeah, it was really cool because he had I don't know if it was a piece of wood. I think it was a giant splinter in his eye, and he wasn't bleeding. But the moment that Arendir pulled that thing out, it was like
Yeah.
it
Oh.
just started dripping, and I'm like, what does that have to taste like?
Yes.
I was going through my head. I'm like, what does orc blood taste like? There's got to be nasty.
Burnt chicken.
Like burnt chicken.
I mean, that would be better than what I imagined, honestly. Like, I would take burnt chicken.
I
Orc
take
type.
burnt chicken over
Worst
it.
nightmare,
That's what it tastes like.
absolutely. Steph North, that is horrifying. Anyway,
You
so
heard it here first, folks. Orc tastes like chicken.
yeah. Wait, orcs aren't like Trollocs where they eat humans. No, they are.
I was about to
That we
say,
know
Like
of.
they almost
Okay.
ate the
we're gonna
hobbits.
eat the hobbits.
They almost
yeah,
ate the
they
hobbits.
eat whatever. They eat whatever.
Ooh.
Okay, good point. So yeah, Bronwyn
Bigger
comes in
bites.
hot like an absolute champ. You love to see it.
Yeah.
Like she did
I do
pretty
love
good.
using Bronwyn.
She did good in that fight. She got lucky,
Mhm.
like, most people, I assume, in fights that survive. But because, like, whenever the orc came over to the cart that she was at or whatever,
Yeah.
and, like,
Oh
went,
my
it
gosh.
went for the other person first, which was obviously
Yeah.
lucky. But, yeah, she handled herself pretty well, I think. I don't know.
Mhm.
Good for her.
Completely
She was
agree.
badass in this episode.
So, random thinks that orc blood tastes like Jägermeister. Is that what you're saying, random? That would be mean. I like Jägermeister.
That'd be better than chicken.
Looks like Jessica
Be
does
better than
not
chicken.
like Jägermeister.
Yeah, Jessica does not like Jägermeister.
Yuck.
Ew, we don't like it. Oh gosh. Oh no, somebody's phone's ringing. By the way. Okay.
Sorry about that.
Agni, turn off your phone, Agni.
Yeah, he's. It's surprised he hasn't showed up yet. I'm sure he'll be here at some point. So this is what I expected. The Bronwyn getting shot with an arrow.
Yeah.
Remember that one episode where she was like running to get Theo or whatever from the woods?
It didn't happen yet.
I was like, I thought the whole time she was gonna get hit, and she didn't. So
Yeah.
finally, I guess they're like, she can't dodge them all, man. Cannot dodge them all.
Oh gosh.
So right
That scene where they're like tearing into her and like burning her and stuff,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to heal her. Oh golly,
it was
they went
cool
into
that
that.
he used the seeds. He used the
Right,
seeds
that was
to
neat.
bring
Nice
bring
little
back life. So there was a couple
New
things
life
that
in
happened.
defiance of death. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a couple of things that happened before this, which was the outstanding ruse at the tower. Right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh, that was awesome.
When Adar showed up. Now my thing is, it's really one path down from there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see
Okay.
it lit up with the orcs. How did they get past the orcs? Is what I want to know to get back to the village. So
The
there's
writers
that.
wrote it in.
No, I get that. I get
I
that.
mean, you really think there's not like a secret tunnel?
There could be. I'm not nitpicking. I just thought it was kind of funny because you saw from the day before the lines going up with the
Yeah.
orcs,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden they're at the village. I was like, what the hell? But Arendir's shot and everything was amazing, and the way they
Oh, for
trapped him in
sure.
there was really cool.
It was.
There was they used the Southlanders themselves dressed up as orcs.
Oh, that I was really surprised when
Yeah.
Arendir like saw the red blood
Yeah.
and revealed it was you. I did not see that coming
Which is
at all.
which is why we got the scene right before that of the black blood dripping onto his face, so that we know.
Good
that
reminder.
You see the red, and you're like, oh shit, those aren't orcs.
That's not right. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew though that it wasn't all of them, right? Because
No.
we didn't see our
Hell no.
boy Adar in, so it
Mm-hmm.
felt like, well, this is the humans didn't realize it, but this is clearly the beginning wave. There's more where that came from.
I'm gonna give Adar some praise right now.
Oh,
The fact that he
Whoa.
stood in that courtyard and pulled Waldrig aside at the last second when the towers like, move, my lord. He was like, nope, sidestep. I was like freaking amazed. Like, he didn't even budge. He was like, sidestep.
that was a lot like that was a
Man.
callback, surely, to the trilogy, right? Because the big Uruk-hai with the bubble faced gross guy, didn't he do something really
Yeah.
similar to that in the movies?
Yeah. When that chunk of the city flew out, they threw that giant boulder out.
Yeah,
And
That's
he just
right.
he just watched it,
Yeah.
and then same vibes.
That's right.
Nimithil says the town was no fortress, and any elf as young as 300 should know thatched roofs are combustible and no match for night arrows. Yeah.
Nice.
I think our elf boy had some decent tactics. Like, I think he did a pretty good job, like, overall.
Yeah.
I mean, they had it set up if they hadn't have been fooled into thinking that was all of them.
Well, and again, like, at least they took out a bunch of them.
They took out a ton
of them.
What
They
was
did.
the alternative?
Yep,
They did what
absolutely.
they could. Until...
Man, but inside the keep, like once Adar's there with all the orcs, and they start like slowly stabbing people,
That
it
got,
was
that was-
grotesque. It was worse than
brutal.
watching them fight. Yeah.
He just kind of looked over and it was like, shing, like.
I mean, just like
yeah.
slow stab. Oh, I mean, oh, yeah.
It was pretty amazing. I was actually
It
pretty
was
impressed
grotesque.
with that whole part. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of went to show, like, they're not messing around, you know? It's less of a, it was no Ned Stark dying, but it was like,
No.
oh, people can die in this. Like,
Yeah.
that's real. So, I also
What
love
are-
you guys talking about how it's like me making cameos in Agni's
for Agni.
videos.
It's
It is
true.
kind of what it's
true.
like. Well, wherever he is, I'm filling in for him at this point. He just ate, so he's like digesting.
It takes a minute after eating.
Yeah.
How do we feel about Pause Boy giving up the
What
sword?
boy?
Okay, I get tired of saying POS boy. So I'm just gonna say Pause
Theo?
Boy.
Okay, we're talking about Theo. Got
Whatever,
it.
whatever
Okay.
his name is. Giving up the sword.
I mean, I wasn't too surprised he broke. I mean, he's a kid. They're like threatening to kill his mom. He's
I was
traumatically watching people get slowly stabbed.
Here's the thing, though.
I
Nobody
would've.
was supposed to know where it was.
Yeah, but he totally in the background was watching.
Oh, I know he was.
when
Yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
Deere was walking.
I'm telling
So,
you, he was being sneaky again.
and do you think he consents it too? Because he talks about how he like misses it. He longs for it. Like there's a sense of
Precious?
loss from it. Kind of like my precious type.
Can they
thing.
sense
'Cause
the
you-
ring, or is it like a Horcrux situation? Because that
Possible.
like he could actually like feel it, like, and hear it, right? I don't know if they could
Yeah.
feel the ring, like
No,
its
the ring race-
proximity.
Ring race could feel when
That's
it
a
was
good
being
point.
used.
Right,
Feel the
when it was being
energy, but I don't
used.
think they could see it. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if
Well,
he's
with
got.
So we
him,
just have to
different.
assume off camera he watched.
Well, we
Deere
saw him
hide
like
it.
sneaking a little bit, like he was looking.
He was
behind
totally
a bush
trying to.
at one point.
Yeah.
The difference between the rings and this sword is that it literally took some of Theo's blood. Like it was inside his arm. He
Yeah.
stabbed himself
Yeah.
with it. So there might be a different connection. I don't know. We don't know yet. So.
Yeah.
Okay, Mayhem Markham agrees with you. He can sense it because it used his blood. Fair enough. Also,
You, ma'am.
Yeah.
Jessica's
Kinda like-
Tavern's not giving Theo any credit yet,
Like ever.
ever.
So
Yeah.
that moment when Arendir gives Theo what they think is the hilt there, that
That whole
sweet
thing.
moment.
Don't get me started
And then
on
he's
that.
like holding it and he can tell without even unwrapping that it's not the hilt.
It's true.
But you
like
can
he
feel
knew.
it. You can feel
Yeah.
the shape of it. Here's the thing about that. Right? That's the one thing in the episode that really bugged the shit out of me.
What? Tell us.
The fact that what's in the box, they're holding this thing. They chase dude Adar down. They captured him. They brought him back. She interrogated him. They had a
Mhm.
conversation in the woods talking about how we would totally do it if my long lost husband, wasn't on my mind, right? That whole scene.
I mean, kind of. I guess we could say
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
half Brad and what's her face, right? Galadriel.
Okay.
And give it to Arendir. Then gives it to boy.
Theo.
Nobody looked inside the goddamn thing.
I know.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Nobody
shocking?
looked.
Yeah.
Like what the
If they
hell?
had just
Yeah.
been a little curious, they would have
Again.
maybe found out sooner.
Yeah, mayhem is on point. Another point to Adar. Super slick move.
It was.
Oh,
was.
yeah.
I mean, good for
He's a
him.
human.
Because
He
that
was a
one
human in a
moment where he's
confusion.
just like, yeah, Waldreg, I got a job for you.
The fact
And then
that
that's
you know
all we
that
saw
guy's
of it.
name.
Here.
Wow.
I know it now.
I
You
don't.
said it like 100 times.
He's important now. He's like the one who's like turned the key,
Yeah.
like
This guy
turned it
officially-
into, what is it? After door? Is that what we're calling that?
After door. After door.
I mean, it's. I guess if we're saying we're still pre-Mordor,
Yeah.
I don't know what we should call it, because otherwise it's just Mordor at this point. Wait, yeah, they changed it. That graphic changed. Remember at the end
Yeah,
of
it went from Southlands
Yeah.
to Mordor. So
Mordor.
it's
I thought that was so dramatic.
I know. I was literally. I said
Yeah.
out loud, "Oh, they're changing it."
Yeah.
Like,
They're
wow.
changing it.
It's like going from Falcon and the Winter Soldier to Captain America. and the
Yeah, I
Winter
guess they
Soldier.
did that too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, spoilers, but okay.
Yeah. That's surprising.
It's been like a year.
It has,
It's been
it
like
has.
a freaking
If you were
year.
gonna watch that show, hopefully you watched it.
Mostly door.
Mostly door. I like that.
Mostly door.
Most
Random note,
door.
man, that's
Yeah,
funny.
no, I think that's a good
Oh,
one. Mostly
shit.
door. Yeah. So this guy sucks, but it was a slick move. Did they ever? Somebody asked, did they ever figure out exactly what it was? Like.
Yeah, the kid.
It was-
Theo. Theo opened it up. It was an axe.
Well, no.
Yeah.
What the sword was, like where it came. I assume the question is what the origin of the sword is.
Oh no. That the
The
Sauron
origin,
sword?
no, we
Or
don't
Yeah,
whatever
because didn't Adar
Yeah.
I
say
think
it
it's a
belonged to him or somebody?
no.
No.
They never mentioned where it came from. I want to say
think
that's a
so.
Morgoth sword.
Ooh.
I don't think that's Sauron's. I think that's Morgoth's.
Okay. Well.
Because you remember, Adar
Morgoth is above Sauron, right?
mhm.
Adar
In their
doesn't really like
Chain of
Sauron.
command? Okay.
Morgoth is the
Instead,
big
Yeah,
bad.
he sure doesn't.
He doesn't like Sauron, so
Yeah.
Yeah. Morgoth is the biggest bad in the Lord of the Rings universe.
he's the one that destroyed the trees and did all that shit.
And then it's Sauron. So, yeah.
Sus.
Everything is sus. This guy. Why? I
Yeah.
want to get this guy off my screen.
Man, okay. Props to Adar number 3. The tunnel system was a ploy the
Wow.
whole time. We thought they were just
Yeah.
using it to get
Get around.
unnoticed.
Yeah.
It was the plot the whole freaking time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
of
I
a
was
they were
sudden,
gasping.
looking.
I was like, oh my gosh.
it
Yeah.
was referred to as a key because the sword unlocked the dam. Basically.
Yeah.
Well, right.
Um,
Yeah. It was definitely a key, but like, who made it?
I'm gonna
Why?
get
When
an
did it
Adar
get
tattoo,
installed?
Jessica. Just wait and see.
Tavern is president of the Adar fan club, according
I mean,
to Jessica.
He can deliver a line though. Like, can he not?
Yes.
That guy is an
Mhm.
actor. Good.
Oh yeah, Benjen's amazing.
Benjamin Stark. Yeah. If you're like,
So, what do we think happened with him at the end? Because, it all explodes and then it shows him not in chains anymore.
Right? And then he shows up.
So-
yeah.
I totally originally thought it was Theo that let him out.
I
But
don't. Hmm.
but then it's like, was it maybe Hallbrand?
That's the
Who
thing,
did it?
I don't know how he got out.
Yeah,
That's
like
the
it doesn't make any
question.
sense.
They showed the inside of the barn and the chains were there, but he was gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Yeah.
So right after he laid down on the ground. So I don't know.
I mean,
that
unless
happened.
he's, tricky and able to get out of handcuffs, And
Yeah.
they had him on his feet too, I think. I don't know.
yeah, that's a good point.
So I'm
I
not
totally
really sure.
thought Theo because at the end of the episode, you hear Arendir and Bronwyn like calling for him and they can't find him.
Yeah.
But then at the beginning of episode 7, like Galadriel finds him right away. So it's not like he ran off with Adar. So I don't know.
No, well, think about it.
Yeah, Oliver's ear brings up a good question. Is it chains or rope?
It looks
I mean,
like chains.
I was
in this,
thinking it was.
it's
I thought it
chains
was
in this
chains.
photo.
I thought it was chains.
It's 100% chains.
So,
looking at him right now.
I'm trying to think. Okay, the key happened. The water went through. Everything went to shit. The big fire cloud came in.
Fireballs everywhere.
Yeah, the fire cloud came in.
Mm-hmm.
Could he have like held? So I'm talking like I'm thinking, you know, the movies where they unlock safes, like Ant-Man, where, you know, sometimes if you apply cold to the safe, it unlocks. Sometimes if you apply heat. What if he like held the link of his like chains to like a place that got hot because there was lava coming in? I don't know.
It happened before the shit hit the fan, because the inside of the barn was completely untouched.
Yes,
when they showed it. So
fair enough.
I don't know. Okay, so here's the thing with me and how Half Brad and Adore. I'm going to call him Adore now because apparently I'm in love with him. So
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So Halbrand and Adar, got it. Okay.
yeah. So Half Brad and Adore. One, when they caught up to him, there were two things. Can you show the Half Brad picture that I?
Absolutely.
The lighting on Halbrad is really interesting because his face is very orc-like in this shot. Just the way the blood is and the sunken eyes and all that stuff. It's really it kind of has like a morbid look, and he's like really angry. So if, as we've spoken about before, we think this is Sauron, maybe in his anger, his shape-shifting might have tweaked a little bit. I don't know. But I think I'm calling bullshit on my own thing, but it's possible. You never know.
I love that.
Oh, that's right, because Sauron can shapeshift.
Yes, he can
So that's how Adar wouldn't have recognized him.
He's looking kind of Morbius right here in this shot.
He doesn't look good.
Oh, so he stabs him in the hand, and then Adar looks up at him, and Half Brad is like, "Do you know who I am? Do you remember me?" He says, "Do you remember me?" And Adar looks at him, and he's like, it almost looked like he was going to say yes, and he was like, "No." Did I kill someone you love? Did I hurt a child? And that's when Galadriel and says, you know, whatever.
She said, "Hold your tongue," or something like that.
Yeah. So there's this weird connection between Half Brad and Adar in that scene, and then later on again after he comes in and stops Galadriel from killing Adar. As soon as he walks in the barn, he's already spoken to Galadriel about, we prefer the term Uruk instead of dark elf or whatever the hell, or orc. But he's already explained that, but as soon as Half Brad walks in, he says Uruk, and he's looking down. Then when Galadriel leaves, looks at Half Brad, he's like, "Who are you?" And he kind of looks back at him, and he walks out of the barn. I think that's another hint.
That Halbrand is Sauron?
It feels like almost, I don't know. It feels like too
It's
obvious now, and
too
so I'm
obvious.
like, they're gonna pull something on us.
We're
gonna
like
be fake.
7 episodes in. We're 7 episodes in, so they have to start going in that direction if they are going to.
That's assuming they're going to give us a reveal this season.
Yeah, and Adar says he killed Sauron. What's that about?
He said he opened him up. Never said he killed him.
Oh,
Said I opened him up.
It was pretty okay. It was implied.
It was implied that he killed him. Yes.
Implied.
Yeah.
It was implied, and I completely agree with you. But I think that the wording is important. Okay?
As far as like the later stories, is Sauron like around, so we can just go ahead and think that this is just them trying to.
Well, yeah.
Play
I mean,
it?
well, Sauron is the one who manipulates the Celebrimbor into making.
Okay,
rings
so we
in a
know he's
certain
not
way.
dead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Minimal
Okay.
spoilers. I won't say anything else.
Well, I want to answer the whole conversation here where they're saying, but who says Sauron reveal in season 1? The clips show Sauron walking.
Yeah, but
I don't know if they're going to reveal them.
Will we
That's true.
know?
I don't know if they're going to reveal it.
You know,
yeah.
it could be like there he is, but
That is
which
true.
but which one? You know, which one are you? Corey Castle says Adar Houdini did the shackles. It's a good. I mean,
Yeah.
It's a possibility.
I mean,
Good
It really is a
point.
possibility he could have.
Ooh, Jubail is saying, my money says Halbrand vanishes next episode and is presumed dead, and then all of a sudden, Sauron shows up. It's an interesting
Same thoughts.
thought.
Ooh.
It's an interesting good thought.
He took off with Galadriel, right? Well,
Yeah.
That's next episode, so we'll talk about that
It
later.
is next episode, yeah.
This episode, the last thing we see is Galadriel being engulfed by the loving embrace of fire smoke.
Well, she was like the smartest person there. Everyone else is running, and she's like, where are you gonna run? Like, if it's gonna kill you, it's gonna kill you. Like, so.
But before all that happens, isn't Halbrand like pronounced king too? And
And
everyone's
they
like,
pronounce that's in the next
king.
episode as well. No,
I thought
that was
no,
in
it's
that
this
was in this one.
Yeah.
It's the end of
Yeah.
this one. Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
been proclaimed king of the Southlands now.
So yeah, but did you catch that interaction? Queen Regent introduced him as, you know, the rightful king of the Southlands. Looked at Galadriel, and Galadriel nodded, and that's when he said yes. Are
yeah.
you the king that was promised? He looked at her, and then he was like, yes. So
Yeah.
he took the nod from her. So I still think he took that off a dead body. Like he said. Freaking sigil.
Maybe. But he's been proclaimed king now, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's him. Whether
He's
it's,
owning it.
Whether it's real or
It's
not.
happening.
Corey, I was shot down when I said that the group got out of the tower before the orc got up there. So this whole no one there survives that, by the way, I completely agree. But apparently the writers wrote it in. They're in a Winespring.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a little
The
close.
writers just decided that.
Hey,
Like,
Southlanders
Elf.
are a sturdy material. I don't know.
elves live forever.
I don't know. Oh, here we go. Nemithril, someone that had to sweep volcanic ash from his front door and get government announcements about not breathing volcanic ash. Southlanders and Numenorians are so dead, if not from the blast, from lung issues. So,
Yoi.
I mean,
Such a good point.
let's all keep in mind the fact that this is Middle Earth. Okay,
It's true.
it's a whole different
True. It's a
ballgame.
fantasy.
They don't even have.
There's
to
a little
breathe-
bit of magic.
They don't have to breathe the oxygen. Think about it. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
Think
They don't have
about
to
it.
breathe oxygen.
they don't have to breathe, as far as we know. Think about it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now we're
I'm
getting
Well,
into
reaching.
wait though. Wait, but they can smell though.
You don't have to
It's been proven.
breathe to smell.
They can
Try
smell.
breathing without. Try smelling without breathing. Go ahead, give it a shot.
I mean, breathing in the
It
sense like
doesn't
they
work.
don't require
doesn't work.
oxygen, but they do have
I know
mouths
this.
and nasal passages and lungs. You know.
And I know it doesn't work
Seemingly.
because I tried it right before I asked you to do it.
All right, everybody in the chat, take a moment to see if you can smell without breathing. Okay.
Just let us know how that goes.
I mean, no. Okay, what kind of a tangent are we on right now?
Nothing.
Anyway, I'm just reminding everyone that we are in a magical world, so like suspend
Yes,
some
you
It's
are
really
correct.
true.
of disbelief.
Super trivia.
uh,
Is
what
that?
in the?
What?
We're all seeing this
I
chat
can't
at the
even
same
say
time.
that
I'm gonna do my
word.
best. Look up
Yes.
pneumonotramic. Oh no, here we go. Pneumano ultramicroscopic silicovolcanonucleosis. Nailed it.
Very good.
Oh my gosh.
That was amazing.
You're a
because
doctor.
I was waiting for you to say avocado.
Nope,
in there.
no. I'm just, I can read. That's
All
the
the
secret.
Kyle.
Okay, so what? Like, is there anything else from episode 6? Basically, we covered like, I need to say something about this. This was, I actually did a TikTok
Say
about this.
it.
I love this.
That was good.
I love
Oh my gosh. I love the hug. Yes.
Isildur, like, I know that, like, Isildur, I don't
Look
know.
at that masculine hug there, you
I-
guys.
I love it. It's just a father son. Like, didn't they like kiss in a previous episode? I love the like affectionate, father son relationship. I think it's really heartwarming and made what happens in the next episode kind of extra sad, right?
Yeah.
Cool thing about
Is this the episode where they like bond over the horse too? I love how the horse is
Yes.
like used in their relationship. It's
Yeah,
like a
this is-
third
yeah.
party.
Yeah.
right after the fight, they talk about the horse and they bring the mother into it. They tell them
Yeah,
about
the
horse.
mom's
Yeah.
been brought up 2 times now.
right.
Yeah.
So the amazing scene where the Queen Regent and her entourage is watching from the hilltop while the fighting's happening, and the Isildur
Yes.
moves up, and she says, "Go," and he just freaking charges. And he sees his father go down. He literally jumps his horse and knocks.
Oh, I got a shot of that.
Everybody off of his.
I got a cool shot of that.
I got you.
I was like, "That's Thor showing up with freaking, the new axe." It was amazing. That shot was incredible.
Mjolnir? Is that the name of the
new
axe?
sword is
horse.
Stormbringer.
Okay. That's what we're talking about.
You like my labels?
Oh my
there?
god, this is hilarious. Look, he's so in the air right now.
Yeah, he's jacking people up.
He was on his way to dad.
Honestly, he's like so. I don't know. That's like
It's
Also-
such a cool shot.
it is.
Also a throwback to the Rohirrim charging into the orcs at Helm's Deep.
Oh yeah, for sure. The them charging thing, like that was a sick scene, and really
So
definitely was a callback.
I've got a question for you.
That
guys.
Or call for
And the
it,
chat.
but yeah, go ahead.
So there's a lot of stuff happening with the Númenóreans, right?
yes.
Yeah.
In Rings of Power. At what point, and this is, Kritter probably might know this just because of Silmarillion. I'm not really sure, and I don't remember, or maybe the chat knows this. Klaus, if he's here, I'm not. When is the split? Because so Gondor is the Númenóreans. Rohan, is it the Southlanders moved to a new place and formed Rohan? Because love for the horses is almost as much as the Númenóreans are showing right now. So was there a split there that I don't know about?
I don't know.
Does
when
anybody
that
know?
happened. That did not happen in the Silmarillion.
Because I think they're all
which is the
connected
one
and
thing I've
related in
read,
somehow.
other than the main trilogy and the Hobbit.
So I'm just thinking because there's got to be a connection there somehow because Rohan loves their horses as much as the Númenóreans do in this, right?
Yeah.
You don't see that in Gondor as much. So it almost seems like there was a split of some sort. But anyways, I was just curious.
Could the split be like Queen Muriel and Elendil?
Or Ellen?
I was thinking Elendil because he was like super emotional about coming back again, and he's also like
He's
into
pissed.
talking to horses and that kind of stuff.
Jessica, it might
So
have been
maybe
in the
you cause some
Silmarillion.
split.
It was a tough read.
I'll have to look it
I
up.
might
I'll
have
have
just
to look it up.
forgotten. There was a lot
I'll have
of
to
Don't
look it up.
fail us, Critter.
a
You
lot
have
of
to
the
remember
political
everything.
stuff was very like, I don't care about that. But I do know that like all of these guys became Gondor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So there
Yeah.
had to have, well, assuming they're the same humans, there had to have been a split at some point. But we don't know. Hi, what's up, Hybrid Havoc?
Hey,
Good to have you
Hybrid,
here.
what's up?
Hey. There's another really cool shot of Galadriel that we haven't shown yet, where she is like hanging off the horse.
Oh,
Oh,
my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
We didn't talk about that.
So
ridiculous writing.
cool.
What the?
Jubilel
Yeah,
in Twitch
I think she
chat.
did it 2 times in the
Yeah,
episode.
she flipped sideways under a spear that was thrown at her and cut an orc's arm and head off
All
one
like
swipe.
upside down.
upside down.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah,
That's-
I
pretty
mean,
great.
this shot's so cool.
all the dude bros are gonna have to freak out. 'cause
Well, they
that
have
shit-
been. They have
Oh.
been.
So she's the commander of the elven armies. That's
Yes.
definitely
It
definitely
shows.
her.
And it shows.
Yeah. Yeah.
This boy's like, who was that?
Oh, I know. When
Commander of
Arondir
the
like
Northern
recognized
Armies.
her, yeah, so cool.
Everybody knows Galadriel. Are you kidding me?
I mean, you can know the name without knowing the person, but it's like he recognized her presence or something. He just
Yep.
knew it was her.
Okay.
Also, and this is before we leave this episode, they brought up something that I think we need to address, and that's
Uh-oh.
Celeborn.
Celeborn. Yeah. Okay.
Celeborn
Oh,
was
her
mentioned
husband.
Yeah.
Is that
Everyone's
right?
been wondering, where is he?
Yeah.
because
Well, he's dead.
He clearly comes. No, he's not. He clearly comes back in the later movies, in the later books, so he can't be dead.
So that is him in the later movies?
Yes,
So I wonder what they're doing there. Why would they?
he disappeared during the fighting, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, all she said is that was the last time she saw him. So they could be reunited then. Okay.
Assumed
Gotcha.
dead. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's another one of those like the story about the origins of Mithril. It's what is it? Anachronistic.
Yeah.
It's not real. Let's put it that
Right,
way.
right.
It's like it's nobody knows.
Not real,
It's,
yeah.
it's a thing
Call
we're not
that
sharing.
what is it? Writers liberty.
Mm.
Writers'
Or just
liberty
like
kinda,
keeping the mystery alive.
yeah, something. Yeah,
Something
it
like
works.
that. Something.
So that could be a pretty big, like, rewarding episode for Gladriel.
At some
Yeah.
point in the series, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be really emotional, I bet.
For sure. People in the chat are also saying that some of these what happens to the world of men might involve some spoilers for the series, which would be cool. So, we'll not speculate much further. Halbrand was also pretty good with the
Yeah,
the horse situation.
Yeah,
he
Corey,
has
I
clearly
didn't wanna
fought
say it.
before.
Corey
Mhm.
said something I didn't want to say.
What?
Oh, Corey says
Yep.
he'll walk in on her and Halbrand.
Oh no! Where did you? I
Awkward
didn't see. Oh, I see it now. Ooh.
Because they aren't. It kind of has a vibe, right? Like they're kind of vibing with each other
Yeah,
a
a
little
little
bit in this
flirty.
episode.
I think
He
you're
literally
right.
said, "I'm married," and I was married, and he was like, "I don't holes don't flood,
And?
or rings don't flood, whatever." He didn't care.
I heard was married.
Yeah, yeah, Halbrand. He's got a lot of skills. Nim Heathrill's
Does.
pointing
He's
out in the chat. He's a
impressive,
skilled
yeah.
dude. So, also like,
So Random Noman says the stranger with Nori is Selborn.
Celeborn.
Is it Celeborn? Celeborn? How do you
It's
say
Celeborn.
it?
I think it's like a
Celeborn.
K, like a K,
Yeah.
but it's a C.
Celeborn.
Yeah,
Stupid
Oh, that was
elves
pretty funny, hot
and their
take.
weird and their weird alphabet.
I know. What are you gonna do?
All right.
There definitely doesn't
Yeah.
need to be a Galadriel romance, Jessica. She doesn't need one. She is a badass.
No.
And that's why I think it's kind of like there's some tension, but it's kind of like you're hot, I'm hot, let's just hang out.
Let's keep fighting
Let's just
together.
keep fighting
Yeah.
together as two hotties.
There's chemistry.
You know?
There's chemistry there. I don't think they're gonna go with a relationship. I think it'd be stupid to do so. Like you said, she doesn't need one. She's pretty amazing on her own. So yeah,
Agreed. What do you mean she didn't tell him she's married?
she did.
She totally did.
She told Theo. I don't remember her telling Halbrand either, actually. Just
Oh shit.
Oh.
She told Theo.
Oh,
Yeah.
Good point. Good point. Okay.
That's a good.
she withheld that information with
Damn,
Halbrand.
Corey.
What do they call that
Calibrate.
where you like you remember something? Do you like what happened?
It's,
What?
sort of like the Bernstein Bears, and how do you spell it?
Yeah, there's like there's a word for it where you
Yeah.
you remember it, but it didn't actually happen. Like
You remember it incorrectly.
it's
Like
the something effect.
Like a false memory.
Oh, it's like a something
yeah,
effect.
it's like
I
a
can't
false
remember what
memory.
it's called.
Mandela effect. Thank you.
Oh,
Name
good
Heather got
job.
it. He went, or he or she actually don't know wins. Whoever you are, Name Heather, well done.
Hey, they got it right.
They got it right. Nailed it. Okay, we gotta move on. Episode 7. I think it's time.
Yes, let's do it. Started with After Door.
After door. Well,
After
no. Here we
door.
go. Actually, you got a screenshot of it. Absolutely nailed it. Mordor.
Yes, there's a word coming up.
So we're there. We're here. We got Mount Doom. We got a lot of flames and everything.
Just had a T-shirt idea.
They're
for
like,
this.
just in case you didn't realize, this is not the Southlands. We're gonna make this very clear to the audience. Door now.
If you didn't know what
There's
was
no
coming,
going back.
if you didn't notice the
I'm
like
just gonna hand it to you.
giant volcano in the background, maybe possibly looking like Mount Doom, now you know.
That's definitely Mount Doom.
It's Mount Doom.
Oh
The
my
Shadowland. That's what they're calling it, right?
Well, yeah.
That's what the kids are calling it these days.
Yeah, stupid kids.
Kids are stupid. No,
I'm waiting
not all
for-
kids. I don't know.
Are we talking about Theo again already?
I'm waiting for the Sanderson sisters to pop out somewhere.
Oh, actually, I didn't.
Oh my
see. I
gosh.
didn't watch that. Did you guys watch it?
I haven't watched it either.
Good.
Not yet.
It's
I'm
good.
going to.
Really? Oh, okay. I heard that it
going
was just
to.
kind of like nothing. It's like the same.
Okay, here's the
basically.
thing. It's entertaining, which
Okay.
is all it needs to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
We're
It's
talking about
entertaining.
Hocus Pocus 2, by the way.
Yeah, just in case you're lost.
Another pivot. Another pivot.
We can't help it sometimes.
Sometimes it's hard to. Okay, yeah, I just love that you got that clip. So, okay, we wake up in a flaming, like nonsense pile of a place, otherwise known as
Yeah.
Mordor. like,
BEFORE-DOR.
She looks almost childlike in some of these like shots here. I feel like her face, she's just so just.
Listen, the fact that,
I don't know.
stunned.
I will say his name, the fact that Theo is
Ooh.
her height,
Yes.
is her height, and he's a kid,
Yeah.
says a lot. She's got to be tiny.
Yeah, the actress.
He could be tall. It could
Yeah.
be a mix. You know. I don't know how tall she
Could
is.
be.
He is.
Noldor. Galadriel's Noldor.
I actually
I think
saw
like one of the
somebody-
most.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I saw somebody say that maybe because Galadriel is young Galadriel here, she gets taller and then eventually becomes the Kate Blanchett version of Galadriel that we see because she's like really freaking tall. So elves just
Yeah.
grow very, very slowly, and
Slowly.
that's the explanation. Go ahead,
She's
Winespring.
probably like 15 here then.
Sure, yeah, 15 in elf years at least.
Random, cut it out, random.
Oh, you were gonna say something, Winespring, and we both talked at the same
Oh
time.
yeah. So actually got emotional in this episode when Elendil looked to
Oh yeah.
Valendil, I think, and was like, "Where's my son?"
I know.
Like the way he said it, he like totally made me cry. The acting was so good. The emotions were raw.
There's a
Like
lot
we
of
know
emotion.
he
Yeah.
lives somehow, but his dad doesn't.
I love this actor. I don't know where he's from. I don't know what the hell he's done
Ellendale?
other than this, but I
Yeah.
am very into Ellendale.
He brings so much emotion in this episode.
ton of emotional. There's that scene. There's this scene that you've got on the screen right here when they find out that she
Yeah.
can't see. That was emotional.
Oh my gosh, with that branch going right next to her eye. Oh
Not
goodness.
to jump too far ahead, but Nori and the apple was crazy emotional.
Yes.
I
She was
mean-
like shaking, like bouncing with nervous energy during that scene.
Yeah, so
The
there was
actress is awesome.
Yeah, like the last episode 6 was a lot of fighting and not a whole lot of room for that kind of stuff, with the exception of Elendil and Isildur. There wasn't a whole lot of that going on with anybody else. But in this episode, it was like bam, bam, like every other minute. You got oh my god, Elrond and Durin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Durin and his dad.
Oh man, Durin got like
Yeah.
all misty-eyed in that scene. That was so emotional.
When he said this isn't farewell, and he almost busted out crying, I was like,
He
Dwarf,
did.
why are you doing this to me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. If you guys are hung up on Galadriel's height, Nimhithril has a theory. She drank Ent water between now and the Loder
Ooh.
trilogy, and that's on
And
that.
water?
Yeah.
Water, yeah, like
Is that a
Mary.
thing?
Like Merry and Pippin drank in the movies, and they
Okay, so
grew.
in the books,
So they're the
in the
tallest
books,
hobbits?
well, actually, he did, but Mary drank it more than
Ever so slightly.
and he was taller. But yeah, when they were they weren't captured. When they were with the Ents, that's how they were basically giving him nutrition, right? While they
Oh,
were
wow.
in their, while
Was
they
that
were
a
in the
deleted
little,
scene, or was that in the?
It-
Like I don't remember it.
No,
That's
that
really
was in the
interesting.
books. In the books, when they were
It was
doing
in the
their,
movie too.
Okay, I didn't read it. That is super interesting.
It was
and
in the movie.
they did drink. They drink a little bit, but they don't show them getting.
It
bigger
does.
in the
They have a
movie.
whole competition. Like one of them drinks and he stands up, and then the other one stands up next to him, and he's like, and then he drinks, and then he grows up. Like that is a. I know that's not a
remember
Mandela
that.
That's
effect. It
hysterical.
might be a deleted scene because I haven't watched the
Okay.
I was gonna say,
theatrical
I don't remember
versions
that at
of
all.
those movies. I haven't watched the theatrical versions.
So I need to
since
watch
a
like the
long time
deleted
ago.
scenes
Oh,
version.
No, you
Okay.
need
I
to
don't
watch
know,
the
but-
extended editions.
Yeah, 'cause in the
Those
books
are
when
where
they-
it's
The
at.
extended edition.
When they go
okay.
back to
I'm
the
gonna watch
Shire,
that.
Okay,
They go
good.
back to the Shire. Mary's so big that he basically becomes like the marshal kind of sheriff of the.
They're like the
whole
tallest hobbits at the
What?
end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty cool in the book.
Just
yeah.
do not remember that. That's super cool. Gonna have to look into that. Okay.
Anyways,
Extended editions are.
So she could totally drink that and have the same.
That's the way
Yes,
we're
if
gonna
we're
describe.
going-
That's the way we're
Yeah.
we're like explaining the height difference.
I'm-
Okay.
I really enjoy this theory.
All right. So everyone's freaking out. Oh, do we think Isildur's dead? No.
where's that?
no.
Where'd that come from?
What?
Is that a question?
If Isildur's dead because
From Kritter.
he
Oh, I
he
thought
gets-
somebody in the chat asked that
he gets
question.
buried under the house, right? So we're gonna have a fake out death. But
Yes,
when
definitely
you
a
think
fake out
about it, there's a under the floor place.
Tunnels?
Yeah, so he
Oh,
could.
the cellar.
There's the cellar.
cellar.
He could like have gotten kind of like lodged or something under.
Could have gotten knocked down, yeah.
Yeah, he could survive.
And we have his horse at the end, like taking off.
Like he knew
And that
the
totally
horse was
felt
gonna
like
get
the horse was like taking off for him, like knew he was alive.
Got this.
Like that connection thing. Okay.
Eric.
Barrack.
Remember the fucking name. Barrack the horse. I remember the name.
Is it Barrack?
It's
Good
Barrack.
job.
I thought you were talking about.
You remember the horse's name?
Wasn't that a Game of Thrones? Barrack Dondarrion? Isn't that a?
No, the horse's name is Barrack.
Wow, good memory.
But that's also a name in Game of Thrones.
It's true. So they stole the shit from
I
everyone.
promise. I'm pretty sure. I don't promise. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Random Nomen. Ace Seal has got a mistake to make later.
Yeah, just a little one. Small. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Like, why would you choose to have this be your fake out death, other than to, I guess, flex the chops of Elendil's actor, which, yeah, okay.
Man.
I'm into it.
So much emotion.
That
from
and
them, yeah.
they're really pushing this connection between person and the horse, right? The rider and the horse. They're really pushing this. So we all pretty much, I think we can all confidently say that Barrack is going to go find Isildur and bring him back.
Yes.
Like, oh my god, like...
Or they're going to go on a
Aragorn.
quest of their own.
Like Aragorn,
Yes.
when he falls off the cliff, his
Yes.
freaking
And the
horse walks up to him and like nudges him awake, and then he
Oh,
gets on the
that's
horse
right.
and he rides back. There are so many. If that's what happens, so many.
Horses are
call-outs.
magical.
Well, that's
Yeah.
true,
I love horses,
absolutely
but
true.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whew, okay.
Where else?
Whew, that's.
What are we following the Southlanders and the Númenóreans in episode 7 right now before we jump to the Dwarf and Elrond?
That
and
seems
the
like
other
the
ones?
way we're doing it. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That
Just
feels
wanna
like
make
what's
sure.
happening.
Hmm.
I was okay. Corey Castle. I was thinking the same thing. Maybe Adar's the one that finds him at first and kind of like gives him just a little hint of corruption that like is what kind of takes him over the edge when he gets the ring, and why he doesn't listen to Elrond later on, and all that. Like, think about it. Well, he gets a hint of the like he gets a little bit of it is Mordor now.
That's interesting.
Little Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah,
Stockholm
just
syndrome?
a mild Stockholm syndrome, or he finds something else evil, or gets a. I can't really articulate it right now because this is the latest. in
It's
the week.
making sense. It's coming
get you.
through.
I get you.
I'm glad.
Coming through. Yeah.
Good.
Great. So maybe it's a good theory, Corey Castle. I agree with that theory. I think
So we're
it's-
staying with the Númenóreans.
Sure.
still.
Yeah. So what else do we want to talk about?
So they've made it back to the camp, and Halbrand's getting up and walking around, even though he's like
time the hell
mortally
out.
wounded,
Yes.
which was
Explain
wild.
that
Okay.
without the
Yeah.
scriptwriter crap, because he was on his deathbed, and then
Oh,
Galadriel
Halbrand.
shows up.
He
and
looked
goes,
awful. Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna die, and then Galadriel shows up, and she's like, I'm riding to Erebor or wherever. Oh, I'll go with you. Come on.
It's another.
I'll get up for
So-
you.
He needs elvish medicine. Does that sound
Yeah.
familiar to
So
anybody?
okay. The image you put up, I love this because look at all the other Southlanders bowing, and Theo does not bow.
No.
And when they're all like
Ooh.
"Hail the King" or whatever they shout, like he doesn't yell it either, which is really interesting.
I agree. No, yeah. Yo, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with that boy.
What is it? He says, "Strength to the Southlanders."
Strength to
That's
the
what he yells
Southlands,
instead of
not the
"Strength
king."
to the Kings." Yeah.
This
uh-huh.
is because he thinks his mom should be the queen, and she should, not
And she
Sauron
should.
over here.
And she should.
Sorry, not Sauron.
That's Sauron.
Yeah, Theo senses something. Maybe he does like sense something because he's
Because
like,
now he can sense evil things.
Now he's got in the thing with the
No,
sword.
evil
I don't
evil
know.
attracts evil.
He looks like he needs milk of the poppy, not too much though. He might go like
That
throwing out
neighborhood
names he
too
doesn't
funny.
mean.
Oh shit!
We don't have to talk about House of
Spoilers,
Dragon. We don't have to
spoilers.
talk about House of Dragon.
Corey,
Okay.
Corey, yeah, I haven't watched that episode yet. I was gonna watch it tonight.
Uh-huh.
So Corey is in here saying that with his glamour magic, the wound probably isn't even real.
He's just trying to.
Man.
He's just trying to find his way to the elves. He's going with Galadriel, and at this point,
Yes.
he's gonna be meeting
Oh my goodness.
Celebrimbor. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Next episode's gonna be amazing.
This guy's playing 3-dimensional chess. Like he knows
Yeah.
exactly what he's doing. Wow.
He's on top of it. He's on top of it. I'm telling you, the guy's freaking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Wow. Yeah, you really like the bad guys in here, don't you, Tavern? Like you're Adar
Yeah.
worshiper, and now you're talking
Not
about
me this time.
I will say this: I love nothing better than a good villain in any story.
It's true.
Because
Yes,
the
I'm with you on
villain
that.
makes the
Yeah.
rest of it happen.
You're right.
Yes,
true.
I totally agree with that.
It's absolutely true. Oh my gosh, my
He's
stomach
playing
is
3D
growling.
chess,
Hilarious.
and I'm playing checkers.
Okay, so check out the.
Thanks, Julie. She said, "Nice catch, one
yeah,
spring.
there's-
High five."
This boy's new elf sword.
Yeah, he's got a little sword here.
Yeah. So what's up with her giving her sword away to him? I thought an interesting choice. Like, doesn't she need her weapon? I know she has her brother's
Okay.
like knife, but
Have you seen her fight?
I have, and she's
She
using her
needs no
sword.
She doesn't need a sword. She does that just to make
Maybe
the humans
doesn't
feel like they're important.
need.
Okay? She doesn't need a sword. But I think it was more to get him into a mindset because she knows what's coming. So she's preparing him for what's to come, which is just more war, and giving him a sword puts him on that path. Become
Yeah.
the Witch King of Magmar.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah.
It's a good point. I don't think it's probably an elf sword, right? It's probably a Numenorian sword because she didn't have a sword
I
before
think
she
so.
went.
Yeah.
It's true. It's the one they
a good
gave
point.
her. It's the one they gave her. So yes.
Mm-hmm. So she can just get another one.
Where
basically.
they're going, they don't need swords. Sorry. Obviously they probably will because who knows if there are orcs between here and there. Fam.
Anybody else
Yeah.
see the cat's paw dagger in this?
The cats. Wait,
Adar has a cat's paw dagger
does he now?
What is a cat's paw dagger?
from Game of Thrones.
It's from Game. I knew that was from Game of Thrones. I was like, what are we talking about here? It's the one that everybody
I don't know if you can
uses.
see it. I don't know if you can see it in here, but if
I
you
don't
look
think
when
it's
his
in the
on his belt, he's got a. It doesn't look exactly like, but it's similar. It's got the same shape to it, which is kind of cool.
He
It's a
is.
loner.
That's
God,
cool.
this guy is a sleeper. I didn't even know he was. I don't think I knew he was cast beforehand. Like
Oh.
maybe I just wasn't paying close enough
Mhm.
attention. I'll admit that was an
Mhm.
option. But man, he's good. Like him as a
It's
villain.
amazing.
Him as the obvious villain, right? Because we don't know who Sauron is. He's just.
All right.
I'm into it. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
he's
he's a good
an
villain.
amazing actor.
Mhm. Yeah.
I will say the other cool thing that I noticed is, especially in episode 7, when Galadriel's with Theo, is
Yeah.
that even covered in soot, ash, her armor, the little jewel things on her armor, still sparkle through.
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing.
Yeah. She's got
Everyone,
some cool armor.
you'll just see this pling, pling, pling. This little glitter thing.
Ah,
It's
pling,
amazing.
pling,
See, I was gonna say, like,
pling.
I feel like the costumers and whatnot did a really good job again of making them dirty, taking the feedback from Wheel of
did.
Time and like going with it and then throwing a bunch of
Yeah.
ash all over
it-
everybody. But I guess yeah, you can only dim the shine of such fabulous armor so much.
Oh, it's just amazing. Well,
I love this shot you have
He
up
has,
right here.
he
That
has
is so
like
cool.
she has little gemstones in her chainmail. Little,
Yeah,
and that's what
Mhm.
was shining. Everything else was great. It's just the gems that were shining every once in a while, which is cool. Yeah, that's a good shot too. That was pretty cool.
yeah,
Yeah, that was quite a bonding experience for her and Theo, which I guess is another reason she decided to go forward, like to encourage him towards good instead of the darkness in his heart, like they were talking about.
yeah.
Well,
She's-
if
she's a
you-
good mentor.
Was it episode 6? I think.
That
Yeah, no, yeah, it was when the Numenorians came crashing into the town.
Mhm.
Freaking Arendir was fighting like a madman, and right
Yeah.
behind him, Theo was killing orcs left and right.
Yeah,
So
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was pretty impressive.
he's this little soldier boy.
I'll give him credit for that. He was kicking ass.
yeah.
Nice.
He did a good job.
All right, are we good with the Numenorian stuff?
Other than this shot, which I must show. Interesting that they pledged to come back, but
Well,
And
the
then
Queen
Theo-
Regent pledged to come back.
He was not happy. He's
He
so
doesn't
emotional.
wanna-
He
doesn't
was
wanna
saying
come
like,
back.
I regret like picking up the elf off the raft. Like I regret bringing her
Yep.
to my people. Like he is having some major like regret.
He's grieving.
happening
He's
here.
grieving for his son. He's lost his son.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Reactionary grief. Yeah.
That's not a commander's thought or a soldier's thought. That's a father's thought.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he's
Whereas-
got a. Well, never mind. It's a horse. I was gonna say he's got an Ouroboros on for his brooch, but it's a horse, not a snake. Also, Julie Schultz. The scene reminds you of the hobbits hiding from the Nazgul. I was gonna say that too, from the Fellowship. Them hiding
That's another
from
throwback.
the orcs.
Shit.
There's so many throwbacks. It's absurd.
Yeah.
Like it's
They're doing a good job with that.
Yeah, it's like, remember the movies?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
available
also
now
really-
to stream on
Remember the
Amazon
movie?
Prime.
Actually, yeah. Even
think, I
even
don't
the
know.
even the Numenorians charging at dawn down the
Mhm.
hill.
Yeah.
Another throwback.
Obviously.
I mean,
Man, that was
just
such an
cool.
oh shit moment. It was like,
Yeah.
here they come. Like, yes.
Well, the way they were
I
playing
got
with...
so pumped up.
Same. Well, they were playing with the timeline so much. It felt like the
Yeah.
Numenorians' timeline was so accelerated that it didn't seem like they were going to be there in time. So it felt like
Yeah,
they were
for
going to be too
sure.
late, and then they're just there.
Like, boom, here they are,
Yeah.
like charging on these horses that somehow fit on these 3 confusing ships.
We saw the. I guess I need to pull up the graphic for how Numenorian ships work because. It's,
Oh man, that graphic
the
is
one that I sent you.
yeah, you
Yes.
shared that on the.
That
group
was
thread, right?
hysterical.
It's so freaking
That was
funny.
the funniest shit.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
saw-
you
I've
gotta
seen all
show
day.
that.
It was great.
It's the only way to make sense of
There
it.
it Okay, that is how a Numenorian ship works. All you can see is the tippy top of the iceberg. The rest of it is
Oh,
very
man.
impressive. So it's
So
actually
funny.
Wait, what do they call? What do they call the chatting? What's it called?
what?
The top. The
The
top.
chatting?
Oh, the chit chat promenade.
Yeah, the chit chat promenade.
Yeah. So Galadriel's room is also up top, actually, right here.
Oh, that's pretty. It's
Right
pretty
here,
sweet.
right
She's
here.
got a view.
Highly
The queen's room
flammable
isn't
wine.
located on there. Yeah.
Like the flammable. Yeah, the flammable wine is the best.
Anyways, that's
The magic
yeah.
Numenorian arc, according to Jessica.
Yep.
I like that.
That's how it works. Thankfully, they didn't all get burnt down. Only one of them, and so the whole fleet could stir. The whole.
Actually, they lost 2.
Oh, they lost.
They were supposed to sail out with 5 ships. They lost 2, so they only went with 3.
Fair
Yeah.
enough. Well,
And then 2 are heading back, and 1 is staying, right, to help
uh-huh.
establish the Southlanders somewhere new. I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what
I
they
didn't
said.
see Elendil on the ship with the queen.
I
I
bet.
don't know if he went back or not.
I bet he would have volunteered to stay because he specifically said "and search for our missing," so he might still have it in his
Yeah.
head, like maybe, you know. Maybe.
It's going to be a pretty cool reunion, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, some tears are going to happen.
I cannot wait. Cannot.
Oh my
wait.
God! Random Noman, why?
What was it?
Why? The dad joke. He goes, the smaller ships are Numelescent
Numerous and...
instead of Numenorian.
Like,
Oh man,
like
you got him good, Random Noman. We're going to give you a minute to get that out,
Yeah.
Tavern.
have
Just
a-
let it out.
Have a nice little
Just
laugh.
let it out.
Listen, there's nothing better than a good dad joke. They're the best. Oh shit. Anyways, all right.
You got him good.
All right, we got to move on from the Numenorians.
Crying. Yes. Where are we gonna go next?
Let's go. Do we have the creepers, the Harfoot creepers, and photos of them on here?
Creepers.
Yeah, the real creepy
I think
creeps.
we got some-
the creepsters. There they are. I found them. So the Harfoots had some weird interactions this episode.
Oh.
Oh man.
Sorry, when I
have
said
theories.
creepsters, you guys didn't immediately know who I was talking about. What the
Because I
heck?
have theories.
Okay.
I told you about this. I believe that those are the Maiar. And the one in the middle, I'm going to venture to say, is the Herald. Her name, I had to look this up, Eonwe. So I'm going to take a wild stab and say that those are Maiar, and the middle one with the short cropped hair, the Sinead O'Connor one, is Eonwe.
Okay. Why?
Because, okay, what I remember, right? You have the Valar,
Yep.
which are the gods.
Kind of.
Okay.
Iluvatar is like God.
Right.
But then the Valar are like.
Right. Then
gods.
below that, you have the Maiar, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe the 5 wizards came from the Maiar as well.
Yep.
So I think they're Maiar that are coming to either try to take them back or give them their marching orders, but they've left where they crashed before the Maiar these folks could get to them. And I'm just gonna put this out there: freaking Harfoots bring everything upon themselves.
Whoa, whoa.
What,
Oh
what,
no!
Whoa,
Are you
whoa,
saying
we
they were
victim blaming
asking
right
for
now?
this? Like, what did they do?
Listen,
Should they have been wearing a different outfit?
Hold
Like, what
on.
are we saying here?
Literally.
I just don't
No, no,
agree
no.
with that.
listen. No, I didn't say about outfits. So they have their simple life. Stick to the trail. Do your things. Granted, I know blinders, right? Live through life with your blinders on. Just do what you normally do. Everything that's gone wrong is because one of them has gone up and poked something, right? So Nori went to the freaking crater, and now they got the big guy.
Okay.
They did the whole thing with the paper, and he set shit on fire and all that stuff. Then Nori touched the ice that was forming on his hand when he was trying to heal himself. She did that shit to herself, right? They also ventured a little bit too far away from the rest of the group when the wolves showed up, and he had to save them, which is why he got hurt in the first place. Then he's trying to heal the freaking tree when they get to the thing. Nori's sister steps forward and almost has a freaking branch crack on her and Nori's head, right?
I mean, the tree explode like.
Oh, it fell straight down. She walked forward.
Okay.
She went forward. If she'd have stayed where she was at, there wouldn't have been an issue. It would have just crashed to the ground. They
So
might
what
have
you're
gotten
saying
scared,
is, any lawyers in the chat will appreciate this, that lots and lots of things in Middle Earth are attractive nuisances. Okay. But
perils.
There you go.
perils. Okay. Yeah.
They're perils.
Middle Earth is filled with attractive nuisances, and you know who better to find them and investigate them than the Harfoots.
Winespring and Associates official statement: Harfoots did no wrong.
No wrong.
No, that would be the defense, is that it was an attractive nuisance, and the Harfoots are too innocent to understand that they shouldn't interact with it. That's literally.
I'm just saying.
I love that. They're too innocent to understand they shouldn't interact. That's totally that. Yeah.
These guys show up and are trying to track freaking stranger, and what does Nori do? She lies to him. Went that way.
She tries to distract him and send him the other way. She thinks
lied
in her
to them,
innocence
which put
that
them
she
on the
could
wrong
send them
foot,
away.
which put them on the wrong foot from the get-go by being lied to. And then the other guy, they come up behind Nori. Her dad shows up. I will thump
Trying to
you.
protect her. Yeah.
Right? Now he's threatening
He was
them.
being a big tough guy. I loved that.
Yeah, now he's threatening him, and then Sadok comes up and says some more shit. They were like, okay, fire, get away from me.
I don't know, Tavern. Snitches get stitches. I feel like Nori did exactly what I would have done, which is be like, they're definitely not by me, and he definitely didn't go the way he actually went. In fact, he went that way.
The opposite direction, actually.
Not my village. Not the way he went. That way.
They're definitely showing, some heroic characteristics in this episode, like with this, and then later, deciding they're going to set out and try to find him, like he's one of them, and they're going to try and help.
Julie, by the
Instead
way,
of just worrying about their harvest or their caravan rebuilding it.
to reply to Julie Schultz, at no point do I ever believe half the shit that comes out of my mouth, so just remember that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I feel like the Harfoots are just on their road to become hobbits. And eventually they have to find a spot that will work always instead of temporarily before they have to move given the seasons or whatever. So, I don't know. I'm happy to see them move on. It was a why are we looking at the weirdos whenever we're talking about the Harfoot? I don't need
Who's been the biggest asshole Harfoot of them all?
Oh, the lady who was like, "I'm going with you." Or wait,
Malva.
no, that was her mom, actually, wasn't it? The first one to say, "I'm going with you," was the mom, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Malva's but Malva then
Malva.
convinced Sadok to go with them.
Yeah,
True.
she did.
I think it's a ploy. I think Malva's trying to get rid of Sadok because
Malva's
she's
a dark
constantly-
friend.
I think so.
Oh my
She's
god.
constantly against everything he does. I'm just saying, she's been trying to get rid of people for a while. Get their wheels,
I mean,
leave them
she
behind.
is pretty tough on people. That's true.
She's been
Yeah.
a bitch.
And then finally now she's like, "Let's rage. Let's get after it."
Yeah, let's do it. That's the
I mean,
little
I was
sus.
pretnew proud of
It's a
them
bit
deciding
sus.
to set out.
I was too, but she's
on a
sus.
journey. They're going on an adventure. That's what they're doing.
the new Harfoot spin-off show, Stranger Things.
You laugh every word.
Because it's hilarious.
That was Me Reborn. Well done. Bravo.
Good job. Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Oh,
Great job.
it does work. It
Yeah,
does
thank-
work. It looks right. So we found, okay, so technically we still have to explore the stranger being Sauron because we don't know who he is yet. But he did create a land of abundance for them. It was like very nice, right?
Man, he
And
sure
then the
did.
Maiar corrected that shit.
Like,
Just
immediately.
destroyed it.
Immediately.
They're like,
Just
you
burn the
wasn't
whole
supposed to
caravan
do
down.
this.
Bold of you to call them the Maiar, by the way.
I'm gonna call them the Maiar. Not even, yeah.
So if we didn't know they were bad before, we definitely know.
Well, the Maiar, I don't think they're bad. I think they're.
They burnt the
The
village
three-
down. Like,
Yeah, but
Those
they helped
three?
create. They helped create the world, right? If I'm not mistaken. They helped create the world, and so them sensing that he caused magic on something that had burnt that should have stayed burnt. You know what I mean? They kind of.
So you think they're checks and balances? That's what they are?
I think so. I think they're balanced. I don't think they're bad. I just think they're neutral.
they're the
Even though they,
arbiters of
like-
neutrality.
I mean, they burned down a whole caravan. Like, that didn't seem
They were
neutral.
attacked.
No, he held fire up to them. They were not attacked.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. You put a torch in my face and say you're gonna wallop me, I'm gonna defend
I
myself.
mean, if you're
It's just that
threatening,
simple.
if they're threatening your daughter, like, they deserve to put.
I get it. I get it.
They
but were-
escalated the situation.
thing is, I don't think they were threatening her. They just came up behind her. We were about to touch her, but they weren't gonna do anything to her.
I agree, Jubilel, very Radagast of Mr. Starman, Stranger,
Yes.
formerly
Mm.
known as Saruman.
That's true.
was my
Formerly
original-
speculated.
One of my original thoughts, but then I changed.
I
to-
found the
to-
Radagast
yeah.
interpretation in The Hobbit kind of insufferable, and so that's the only reason I'm like, ugh, if that's
Hope it's not
Radagast,
him, yeah.
like, but they could redeem him. They could redeem him. Like, it would be cool. He's also kind of unhinged, so in the Hobbit movies, which
are
have
from the
their
same ilk.
issues. And this guy, the stranger's kind of unhinged at this point, or not as unhinged, but like a he's got a baby's mind. He's learning.
He done babies. Mine, I like that.
So,
That works.
Yeah, he's learning. We'll see what he ends up being.
Snails.
So many snails. So much food. Like,
Oh, what about her song? She was singing. Poppy was singing all throughout the episode with some.
She
killer
really,
tunes.
she sung like 2 different songs. Yeah.
she had some killer tunes going on.
we stand Poppy. What can I say? I don't think we have any Poppy photos.
Before we leave the Harefoots, remind me to bring up something that we've talked about in the past that I thought of that was kind of weird.
Just bring it
Do
on.
it.
Like, we're
Yeah.
Okay.
Go hard.
Well-
I'm ready. Do
Right,
it.
so remember the episode when they were going through and listing all the people that had died on their journeys?
Yes.
We wait.
the
we wait.
we wait for you.
We wait for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's ironic that they died because they didn't wait for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying we
Mm.
wait for you. That's some bullshit. Harfoots
Yeah.
are evil.
Come on. Come
Does this look
on.
evil to you?
They're not evil.
Like
They're the future hobbits.
Like the mafia. They're like the mafia of Middle Earth.
You know what? Finally, they're
They
like,
have a hierarchy.
you know what sucks? The fact that we actually don't wait for people. So let's settle. Let's settle in the Shire, and then maybe that's why
Always
they.
wait.
Yeah, we're just going to stay. We don't have to wait because we're going to stay.
That would be amazing.
Oh, that reminds me. So the fireballs came, burnt down this whole orchard here. And that just shows like kind of how close they are in proximity to Mordor too, that those fireballs even made it over there. Like
Yeah,
I wonder where on the map they're
Well,
located.
they showed where they were headed on the map. They were heading in that direction.
Mhm.
I don't know how close they are, but yeah, I thought about that too. That the volcanic boulders that got shot up into the air,
Yeah.
pretty goddamn far.
And probably in all directions too around Mount Doom.
Yeah, I would think so. Crazy. It's a crazy time.
Oh man. That caravan burning down, I was like gasp. Oh my goodness.
This is going to force them to stay there because now they have no way of getting around.
They gotta rebuild.
It's true.
Mhm.
It's true. All Julie Schultz, I'm just saying that the creepy blonde guys do have white cloaks. Coincidence? I don't think it is.
I think not, Julie. I
White
think-
cloak, dark friends is what they actually are.
It's cool that they have magic. I mean, she literally put that torch out with her hand.
Oh,
and
she
used-
sure did.
And then used the heat from the torch that she stole
She's like,
to blow the
blew it out.
freaking
Yeah.
put the shit on fire, which is kind of cool.
They're a little scary, and they're like tracing his magic. See which direction he goes by it.
Melindra.
Like,
Yeah,
ugh.
Harfoots. the Harfoots have gone all of 300 yards.
It's been, this is interesting. Nimhethel says it's been heavily debated that hobbits resemble too much of Irish culture, like they're based on the Irish. I can
leprechauns.
No, I didn't know that.
I can imagine that might be kind of a sore subject, right? Because Tolkien was British, right? And there's kind of a bit of a history there.
Yeah,
to say
a little bit.
Did that bat around his time though? I don't
Um,
know the history. I mean, I know it got real bad in the
there was,
50s and
I was
60s.
gonna
So
say,
I'm
yeah,
assuming,
like during the Troubles.
Yeah.
Which I just learned the name for sort of recently because I'm terrible at history. 1960 to 1998 is the Troubles, and when I actually don't know when Tolkien was alive. What
It was probably. I think he was in the 30s and 40s.
he died in 73. So
So when was he born? Does it
and
say?
he's actually South African. How did I not know that?
Oh, interesting.
Anyways,
Interesting.
learn something new every day. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about Irish culture to like put that together. They just to me seemed very country, very like dumpy, very like cute. Honestly, they resemble.
Careful, you could be insulting the Irish.
No, I'm saying like what I'm saying is I don't think they. To me, they don't
You need to
resemble
go.
any particular culture. They resemble these like
No.
sweet, unassuming homebodies
Kritter.
who love food.
Now you-
What?
And you have to fly over there and kiss the damn Blarney Stone to make up for
I
it.
literally said, I don't see,
Hey.
like, you guys are,
We're coming
listening
for you, Kritter.
comprehension is important, okay? Like,
Listen, folks, it was her. She said it. I had nothing to do with it. It was
Wow.
all her.
Oh,
that was
wow.
actually not the worst
That happened.
accent, but,
Good job.
Anyways, officially they were per Tolkien's letters. Okay, well, never mind.
There you go.
Interesting.
All right, where are we
Thanks,
going?
Jessica. Appreciate you. Okay, let's see what else. I feel like we kind of covered the Harfoots. Terrible. We don't like it, right?
Okay,
What happened?
whose
Don't like
footprint
it.
was it? The stranger's footprint that Poppy saw, or the? I'm just gonna call
They
them
had
Maiar from
shoes.
now, whatever.
They had shoes.
The
So
people
it was,
in white.
it was
Yeah.
Maybe the Maiar.
it was
Yeah.
the Creepers.
Yeah.
That's their official title, according to me.
The
By the
Creepers,
way,
for sure.
they're the Creepers. Yeah, you're right, Raven
No.
Melman. Why would Tavern start listening now?
I would not.
Why would I expect that of them? Okay, moving on to Elrond and the
It's overrated.
dwarves. This was very emotional.
Yeah.
It was.
Mhm.
It was some good
Yeah,
stuff.
him kneeling before the king was pretty intense.
Yeah.
I mean, he is begging for help for his people.
Yeah. Also, him kneeling
Think-
is almost the height of the king.
Oh,
Which is
yeah.
Yeah, pretty
Trying to
amazing.
get on his level.
kind of, yeah.
He slumped down even a little bit more just to make sure that he was. And the two dwarves behind Elrond were like, "Holy shit, he just knelt."
Yeah. I mean, it was, I thought it was a big deal too when they did it.
It was.
Or when he did it.
Yeah.
You think Gil-galad is messing with Elrond even further
In what way?
with this
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing? Because basically they've gone to ask for Mithril, right? Because the elves need it to survive. In turn, them going after the Mithril is what destroys this entire dwarf clan,
Yeah.
right? And there's no love lost between Gil-galad and the dwarves. We saw that from the one episode
So you
where they
think
were kind of
he's-
going back and forth.
You think he's trying to sabotage?
I think there's some sabotage going on, as well as, I mean, if it wasn't for Gil-galad saying that to Elrond, he would never have dug that deep, because King Durin the Third is the smartest freaking person in that goddamn mine, right? And Dissa's an instigator. Dissa started planting the seeds of freaking.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised
rebellion.
at her. She was just like,
I was
doesn't
like-
matter. It's ours.
I liked Decent.
Yeah, it's ours.
I
I'm
liked,
out.
I liked that.
I like
I was
Dissa,
like,
but
go,
toward
girl.
the end there, she was planting seeds of rebellion in her
Mhm.
hubby there.
She's like, we will rule this mountain someday.
Well, she said
And-
this mountain and all mountains, didn't she? Like, she's kind of like a,
she wanted all of it.
an
Go,
ambitious
girl.
queen.
Get it, Disa?
And then you have Durin once again being the funniest MNFer in the planet or in Middle Earth when he's like, well, in case of your mother, she does have lice. I'm joking. Like he backpedals so fast. But
yeah, he did.
shit,
That was really
delivered
funny.
Perfectly. That was
Yeah.
a perfect delivery.
Disa, Sauron, random. Our boy Durin
Oh,
would
that's
probably
funny.
not be pleased to find that out.
I thought it was interesting that Disa has a forge like walking
she's got her own
distance
shit.
from her table, like her dining table.
Yeah.
It's just like for
And
like
axes and shit.
yeah.
Yeah, she's whispering some interesting things in his ear. Here we go. Wow, I thought we were gonna go
There
an
it
entire
is.
stream without
Thank
the star
goodness,
of
we
the
were
show.
worried.
I know. He
Look at that lion cat.
Agni, what's up, buddy?
Finally digested his food.
We've been holding the show down for you.
Decided to stop by.
Oh,
He smells like perfume or
little
something.
lover boy. What a sweetie.
He is such a sweetie. Anyway.
So like I said, I was just thinking that Galad, he planted that. He told Elrond that, then watched him because he knew that Elrond was going to tell Durin the truth. Literally watched them from a freaking hilltop as he told him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there's a little.
But we got to see what the Mithril did to the leaf, so we know that it works somehow. So it's not.
Right. Maybe it's him being greedy, Gilgalad being greedy, wanting the Mithril for himself, for the elves or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either.
That whole thing with the Balrog. Oh my God, that was amazing.
Oh yeah.
The Balrog is pretty intense.
It just
with that leaf falling down and then like burning up and then suddenly Balrog.
It was like he literally was like just hunched over with his wings above him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, whoa. Oh, that was so cool.
It was there it is. Boy, howdy, things are getting exciting.
Because isn't it because this Balrog that this whole mountain people they die off?
They're assuming. Well, I guess they're implying that this is the same Balrog that shows up in Lord of the Rings when they go through Moira, right?
Yeah.
Because Durin's ancestors, which were in The Hobbit, came back, opened the mines, and that's where they found that Durin had been dug too deep. You could tell from the mithril veins, it went way down into the earth.
Way down into the earth,
right?
Yeah.
Where the Balrog was.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that moving forward in Rings of Power, they're going to start digging it because that's pretty much where they're heading. Naturally in the progression of the story, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to get too far down, and they're going to release the Balrog, and he's going to come up and be like, "Yo, bitches, get out my house."
Oh man.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. That's what it's going to look like.
And I cannot wait.
Exactly.
Not this season, though. Presumably not this season. We need our boy, old Durin, to die.
Yeah.
And then...
Hey, you think he'll die in this season? You think he'll croak
maybe,
at the end of the season?
Maybe at the end of the next... Like, at the end of the next episode is kind of like a, oh shit, now,
It has to happen soon. Sooner rather than later, but...
Yeah. So do we think that Durin got like disinherited or I don't know what the word would be. Like
he took his placard and chucked it on the ground.
That was the idea.
Don't pick that up.
But Disa did not seem bothered. She was like, everybody knows it's you and it's gonna be you.
It is not your brothers. So we know that there are brothers there.
Yeah. She doesn't seem worried though. It seems like it's still him, but maybe that's just her trying to hype him up,
Yeah. Keep him energized about it.
Like, if they're not clear about the line of succession, which we've seen in other shows, then, people will assume that it's just going to be Durin. But anyways, yeah, so then they go, well, we already kind of talked about, we got ahead of ourselves here, but I was kind of surprised that Elrond was like, yeah, let's sneak around. Right? Like,
oh, yeah.
He
wants
desperate.
it bad.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
He's desperate. Is he's been told that his people are gonna die. The elves are gonna die if they don't get this stuff. So I can see why he would definitely, if his friend says, yeah, let's do this, he would go back in.
He's like, let's go. Yeah.
I found
He looks so dejected here, just like sitting down, all dirty outside.
Tired.
once
Yeah.
once they kicked him
Just
out.
exhausted. Yeah, they
Here's the-
finally find it, and he gets kicked out.
Funny thing is that conversation that he and Durin had while they were doing the illegal mining, where he was like, "Oh yeah, I beat you at the whatever," and he was like,
Oh yeah.
He's like, "Did you though?" And Durin's like, "No."
They're such good friends. Like
He
the
is
friendly,
slick.
like chummy conversation is amazing in between them. Yeah.
Also, they had a line in this episode that shows. I mean, because so you could say the elves live forever, right? And you could say that dwarves live for hundreds of years and whatever. But they had a line in here that put it all into perspective. Elrond said, in return for allowing us to mine, to use your mithril mines or access to your mithril mines, we'll supply, meat, grains, and
Wood,
timber for 500 centuries. 500 centuries.
5 centuries.
5 centuries. 500.
I'm sorry,
5
5 centuries. Sorry, which is still
long.
100 years.
A lot.
Long.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was 5 centuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still it's ridiculous. And to them, he said it like it was nothing.
Yeah.
He said it like 5 centuries, and the dwarves behind him were like, oh.
Oh my gosh, Melindra, a dark hole of our own, a hoard of real orc bones, pillars on every corner, a bridge crossing the expanse. Lyrical, love it.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Uh,
What's it from? Did you write it, or is that from something?
well, if I just
Gonna
had
be
to
our
guess, there's so many songs in the Lord of the Rings books, so that I just have to assume that's
Maybe it's from one of those.
one of them. But if it's not, well
Got
done.
I want a show, right? Like a spin-off. Nothing but Tom Bombadil.
That is a take.
I would watch it.
I would watch it.
I mean, I would too. But,
I would watch it.
He's back. He's back. What's up?
Agni!
You
Trying to
So
think of all this stuff.
showstopper.
just had to take a lap. Okay. How are we doing? I feel like we've kind of covered everything. Did we miss anything?
Yeah.
I don't think we did.
Looking through my notes, I think we did cover everything.
Your notes. Bless your heart.
I write
Just
notes.
wrote it for mayhem. Well done. I mistook your lyrics for Tolkien himself.
They were that good. We had to
They
ask.
were that good.
They were beautiful.
All we need is Pippin singing it.
Yeah.
Somebody while they're
Pippin's
chomping on cherry tomatoes in a very disgusting manner.
Yeah.
That scene was so gross.
Yeah.
It's like the beauty of his voice, and then it's like, oh my god. Stop.
Oh, Jessica, that's an interesting thought. Maybe a last thing for us to discuss. Are you the only one who assumed this is the setup for the deep-seated mistrust between elves and dwarves? I don't think so, honestly, because it made me wonder.
Already there.
At the beginning of the season, because they seemed like they were in an okay place. They eventually let Elrond in and let him give his petition or whatever, and whatnot. And something happens. Like they're diametrically opposed by the time we get to the Lord of the Rings movies. They hate each other, and the question is, how do we get from here to there? And a good way is for the dwarves to basically condemn the elves to death, as far as everyone knows. But by doing so, they're attempting to preserve their own lives, essentially. So both sides are kind of right. And they're just trying to preserve themselves over the other. And to me, that feels like a really good seed for a long, winded conflict.
Here to there and back again, a wheel and chill story. What was Legolas's dad's name?
Thranduil. Sorry.
Right, so
I love. He is hot as he is hot in the movies. It's hard to forget. Sorry. Go ahead.
So the animosity between him and the dwarves, right, in the Hobbit, were because when Smaug attacked the Lonely Mountain, right, and those dwarves, they called for help. Andúril came, saw, and then left, and did not help them. Turned around and left. he left him as a it's over. It's no cause to help here because the dragon's already inside the mountain or whatever.
Right.
So that was the animosity there. I'm not sure. This might be like I said, this might be what spurns the animosity between, or starts the animosity between the dwarves and Moira with Gil-galad and Ron, because it ends up being 3 factions, right? What else? The Sylvans or whatever.
There's his and Elrond's and Galadriel's.
And then Galadriel's. Oh.
Yes, Antler Daddy, Mayhem Mark.
Antler
Thran
Daddy.
That's what I like to think of him as. We love Lee Pace. It's been a good year for Lee Pace, by the way. Like, he was in Bodies, 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 and he was in the.
How was that?
It's like a Gen Z horror movie with Pete Davidson, but and him. It's interesting, and he was also in Help Me Out Foundation on Apple TV Plus, which I liked.
Oh yeah,
So, and he was great in that.
He's a good looking man.
He's a good looking guy.
I'm not gonna lie, he's a good looking guy. Yeah,
Oh, interesting. Nim Heathril clarifying the diamonds were promised from the dwarves to the elves, and they were not given. So Thran Daddy ended diplomatic relations, which is a lot like that thing that we talked about the last Lord of the Rings stream about that necklace thing. Yes, Foundation as in Isaac Asimov. Jessica, it's on Apple TV Plus. It's a 1-season series, and it was hard sci-fi, but
Good.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah, it was good.
I have another question for you, Critter, and the chat.
Not Winespring,
though. Oh, well, Winespring might know this.
Okay,
given the fact that she didn't read the Silmarillion, and every time I bring something up that I think is from the Silmarillion, she's like, I don't know.
Okay.
No idea.
That's fair.
All right, so you said the Silmarils ended
Yeah.
up where? One in the earth?
Yeah, one in the sky and one in the ocean.
Right. And the Arkenstone is not a Silmaril.
Right.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it wasn't that, because I was trying to figure out the Arkenstone, because it has kind of like its own light and all that stuff. It's very similar to the description of the Silmarils, so I was curious.
No, I don't know, because the one that ends up in the earth was actually the dude who had it, one of Feanor's sons, cast himself into a volcano with it, or like a fiery chasm, I think.
Oh no.
Yeah, so, well, yeah, there's a whole, you should, I've got a TikTok about it.
check it out.
Feanor, who created the Silmarils, got really pissed whenever they were stolen, and him and his sons made this oath that they would basically get them back at all costs, and that turned them into just raging douchebags. Like, they raided elf towns, and like they like killed tons of people.
Wow.
And these are elves. And so, yeah, once like 2 of his sons ends up getting 2 of them, because one of them is with Elrond's dad up in the sky. Right. 2 of his sons get them, like 2 of them, and one of them is kind of like a bard type, and so he's like wistfully by the ocean, and holding them hurts them, because like with Sauron, touching, or Morgoth, touching something so like fine and pure like hurts them because they're so bad. Basically, they've done so many bad things to get them that they're like not worthy, right? And so they're so sad about the fact that they're not worthy, essentially, that one of them is like wistfully walking along the ocean and throws his in, and then the other one, even more dramatically, jumps into a chasm with his, and so that's where they go. Yeah.
Are they trying to outdo each other? What the?
No, I think one of them is just more like, like a sad boy, and the other one is like a, think the difference between like a firebender and a water bender. Like, how would they handle such disappointment? So I think the one that throws it into the water is supposed to be like wandering the shores, sadly after the fact, whatever. So. Anyways, I hope that was a fun little story for the end of the stream.
It's really sad.
His new name is Ador, not Adar. Just trying to correct meme. Wasn't there for the whole adoring Adar thing, so get him caught up. Yeah, I was just curious because, like I said, it resembled the description. So I was just curious.
Yeah.
If it was one and the same. I mean, it'd be kind of cool, but yeah.
I think, wasn't it the heart of the mountain? Isn't that what they called it?
Said it was the heart of the mountain, but
whatever that is.
I mean, what would that be though? What the hell would the heart of the mountain be? Unless it's just one diamond or whatever that's compressed from every freaking side, right?
Basically from all the mountain. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah.
Could be.
Oh yeah, Jessica's got a good question. When was your last overshare? You haven't overshared in a while.
When was my last overshare?
Ooh, we need an overshare story.
Yeah.
What should I talk about?
I don't know.
I don't know I don't know.
What do you got for us?
What is the worst experience you've ever had at a concert?
Random.
Okay, well, I'll tell you guys about my Highland concert that I went to. I posted a
Yeah,
TikTok
there
about
you
that.
go.
That worked. I don't know if it's
so
bad.
Talk
I-
about
while-
that ritual.
While I was in Dallas, I visited Winespring, and then I went to a Hailung concert, aka Ritual. Hailung is a Northern European band that is it bases its music on like old, like Iron Age, like Viking, Germanic peoples, like musical instruments, rituals, and texts. Essentially, not texts, but like runes and stuff. So it gets absurd. They're singing in multiple languages. They're playing on antlers. They're wearing antlers. It's like bonkers. The thing is, though, is this venue. We show up like 45 minutes before the show, and there's like a mile line, and they're wrapped around the building. Like it was the longest line I've ever seen to get anywhere ever. And so
welcome to Dallas.
It was like it was crazy. Like 45 minutes to go, and we literally flew to Dallas to go to this concert. So it's like we need to get in there. Like we need to see it, you know what I mean? And so turns out that you could buy fast pass tickets for it. And so we did, because like we literally bought plane tickets to be here. Surely we can pay like $20 a piece to jump the line.
Yeah.
But once we got in there, they didn't start the show until everyone had gotten in. So the show started an hour late, and it's like a concrete floor. And so we are in the middle of this increasingly packed crowd of people standing on this concrete floor, and we don't want to move after a certain point, because it's like we'll never see each other again, you know what I mean? And like people there are in cosplay, so we've got people with like face paint and furs and all this other stuff, and so I'm like, I don't want to get lost, like bless their hearts, but I don't want to get lost in here. And so we stood there, we didn't leave for like, I was standing on a concrete floor I think for about 4 hours, and only like an hour and a half of that was the band playing. So it was crazy. Oh, wow. So that's what happened to me. Overshare.
Did you dress up? Did you paint your face at all?
No, I didn't know what I was going to be doing.
That totally seems like your style, like your vibe, like you would have.
Next time, I absolutely.
So we have seen pictures from her Vegas EDC. Thing that she posted, and she had stuff on, which is awesome.
I will always dress up for the theme, but this time we didn't know how common it was, and so we were like,
you had to go out and kill a deer, skin it.
Antlers weren't allowed.
Antlers weren't allowed, actually. I told Winespring while I was there, we got an email that was like, no weapons or antlers. That's like, so.
Just to clarify.
I legitimately thought about making jewelry, because I have this spare antler shed that I found at my parents' farm once. That's just like, because I have a couple sets of antlers like on my wall. I know I'm one of those people. But like only a couple, and they're like tasteful, whatever. It's like a European mount. But anyway, so I found this one like individual, like no prongs antler shed that's just like tiny. And I was like, it could be cool if I made that into a necklace. But then I got that email eventually, and I was like, well, I'm glad that I didn't. So
have you ever been at I've been to a couple of venues where indoors, and it's a solid floor, the shit's going so freaking crazy, this concrete floor under your feet is just
yeah.
It is the creepiest feeling. It's like, okay, time to get off the dance floor. Gotta go.
The show itself, though, was so worth it. Like, I would stand on a concrete floor for 8 hours if it meant I got to see it. It was so cool. Like,
nice.
Just
cool. I'm going to have to look up and see
so
what
it's a must-see. You should check them out on YouTube. They're pretty phenomenal.
Hailung, Heilung. Look them up. Their music videos are a lot like what their concerts are like. It's crazy. Okay, we gotta. I think we can wrap up. I'm really, really hungry. So, Winespring, why don't you give us your final thoughts from the stream?
Okay, final thought comes from a chat I saw earlier. Didn't read in time. It was from the Meme Reborn about the ships. He said the ships are bigger on the inside like the TARDIS. And I loved that
True.
That's awesome.
joke. That is hysterical. So that's my final thought.
Well done, Humor Board. Love that.
It was a good
Good.
joke.
Good
Yeah.
It's
joke.
pretty funny.
Tavern.
Yeah, so my theories are my own and not representative of the Wheel and Chill show.
Thank you for that, sir.
At some point, this will be long enough for me to braid.
Do it.
You have to do it live. You have to do it live. On
I
one of the
don't know
Winespring
how to
shows.
braid. I'd have to like do it
Just
backwards.
do it
on
in
the-
two
and
parts. It's already long enough to braid two.
I thought about that, but then it looked like it'd be long stockings. It looks weird. It looks
Oh wow.
weird.
Okay. We
That's-
will await that moment whenever we can finally braid the beard.
Yeah.
Excellent last thought.
Anxiously awaiting.
And I guess
Let's not get carried away.
I'll just say that we will be back next week talking about the finale.
Oh my gosh, can you believe it?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
happening.
8 episodes.
Can't wait.
That's
Can't
it.
wait.
I'm excited.
It's pretty crazy.
I'm gonna watch it at least twice. It's gonna be so
Don't
good.
forget to hit the like button.
Oh yeah, please hit the like
Smash
button
like.
if you haven't done it yet. Hit that follow button. You guys are awesome. Tavern Dwarf Beard, everyone's into it. Anyone into Bardcore? Not yet.
Bard.
But it
What?
sounds great. Yeah, thank you all for being here. This was such a lovely stream. Winespring Tavern, pleasure as always. We will be back
Yes.
next
same.
week, so get excited about it, okay?
Bye, chat.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.